What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? Can you hear me?
Doing good.
All right, you got that smile on your face, Paul. Did you pass your test?
No, not yet. I was close.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 points away.
Okay, yeah, you're almost there. Lisa did y'all make sure that y'all using what she emailed, because that's the exact test. So make sure you all are utilizing that. Anybody on the thread, any praise reports as you come in? Anybody pass yet?
Not yet, but I'm
Not
scheduled to take it on Wednesday. So
okay. All righty.
You got this, Shayla.
thanks, Mike.
Good job, Paul. Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
All right. CBU Zoom room, is that Resume Bay?
It sure is.
All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure he was on. How are you doing?
I'm good. How was everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Well,
Doing good.
So we'll give everyone a couple more minutes, and then we're going to get this show on the road. Everybody have a good weekend.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, I had a great week and
Awesome.
Yeah, cooked out some burgers.
Yeah, I cooked out yesterday too. Father's Day cookout. And I played some good golf. So really good day yesterday.
Where you played, Josh?
Man, I play everywhere. But yesterday I played at Old Fort.
but are you any good?
Huh?
He said, huh?
Elephant heavy. Yes, Lord. All right. I think everybody's on that is going to be on. So I like I promised that I want to start working on y'all's resume and LinkedIn presence. And so I've been doing Resume Bae for about, I'll say a year or so, 2 years maybe. I think it's been that long. I think I met Resume Bae during the pandemic, honestly, I think. How did we meet?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, there it is. Come on. LinkedIn. She is the absolute best when it comes to really getting you seen on LinkedIn, getting your resumes pulled in, and helping you gain or get gainfully employed. So tonight, Resume Bay, I want to just give you a kind of oversight of what this class is. So this class went through our Oracle ERP or Oracle Fusion Data Intelligence cohort. So they've been working on getting their certifications for about 20 weeks. Some have passed, some have not, but I want them to start to market themselves on LinkedIn and then getting their resumes to align with everything that they learn and all that good stuff. So that just kind of give you a overview of who they are. Also, y'all, if y'all don't mind, because it's just hard to teach to black screens. So if y'all don't mind turning y'all's cameras on, that'd be greatly appreciated as well. So and if you're driving or whatever, then it's all good. Look at Jay. Jay said, she's the GOAT. This is amazing. It's absolutely, she is the GOAT. She is
I've used
amazing.
her before.
But FYI, I am driving, so
Okay.
Hi,
All good.
I'll be
Josh.
on as soon as I can. Hey.
Okay. So again, she is the GOAT. We are working on we got to get these numbers together. So me and her are going to be talking to get some numbers together. But in the meantime, she's going to be on here tonight to be working and working with y'all, talking to do some things and all that good stuff. So I'm going to hand it over, leaving my son speak. Okay, all good. If you can get on camera, please get on camera. If you're not in a position to, then don't. But again, it's really hard to just be looking at black screens and it's just, you know what I'm saying? So it would be great to see some faces. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Erica, aka Resume Bay.
As you see on the shirt, still got one.
Yes.
Actually, I wore your red hoodie today too.
Come on.
I still got it hanging up in my closet.
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, thank you guys for having me. Like Josh said, my name is Erica, also known as Resume Bae or Coach Bae. I've been a career coach since 2022. I help all genres within the career space of a mid professional. So anyone with 5+ years of experience, helping them mainly understand transferable skills. So I'm pretty sure as you guys have been in this program and understanding what you want to get out of this program, certification, things like that, what your transferable skills are and why they match to these upcoming positions and opportunities. So if you guys have questions during the session, definitely let me know. First, I'm going to share my screen. So if you guys are not connected with me on LinkedIn, please do so. I love to put a face to the name and really get to know you guys, even outside of this session, because this is just one small snippet of what I teach and what I coach on an ongoing basis. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys so that you can see my LinkedIn profile. And I'll leave it up for you guys to connect. Remember, connect. Don't just follow because I will not get a request. So if you connect, it will come here to my network. It'll have the little 1, 2, 3, however many of you guys are in here that can connect with me during this call. So when you type in my name, it may say Erica T. Just depending on if we're already like within network or we have mutuals. So if you don't see it, just obviously look for my profile picture. So I'll give you guys a few seconds to do that. Now, before I get started, so I have an idea of maybe some struggle points, pain points, or career interest, what would you guys, and anyone can answer for themselves, what would be your guys' struggle point or things that you're trying to achieve with your resume right now?
For me, it's algorithm, getting past the algorithm, because I understand that at some point things changed and in the old school, putting in the application and then calling people the next day. It's just different now. And so I need to know how to be included. I'm not even sure I'm making it through certain application processes because of an algorithm.
Okay. So the ATS system basically you feel like it's preventing you from moving forward in your application process.
I think so.
Okay, that's understandable. A lot of people feel like that.
And I don't know if it's just keywords that I don't have on there or whatever the system sort of is using to filter out applicants before it goes to a human. I'm missing the mark somehow because some of the some of the things I'm applying for I'm definitely qualified for. And I understand, we're in Nashville. It's just a higher population of, candidates. But still, I'm just not sure why sometimes I don't even get a response, like a denial or anything. So I feel like I'm just not even getting in the pool almost,
I can understand. Okay. All right. So anyone else And like I said, make sure you guys don't hit follow, hit connect so that we can actually be mutual connections, not just follows. What are some other pain points that you guys are seeing out there? Has anyone kind of been on a job for so long that they have not applied for a job in a while? Okay, Shayla.
Myself, yes, I think prior to the um current job or the most recent job that was listed, I was on my previous job for 16 and a half years. So and then this last one was almost 3 years. So it's kind of like it really
Okay.
needs to be updated and manipulated.
Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
Okay. All of that makes sense. So, so when it comes to before you do anything, when it comes to your resume and your LinkedIn, is self-branding. What you want to get across to any employer or any company that you are interested in, what you bring to the table. So self-branding is super important when it comes to elevating in your career. Because without self-branding, honestly, truly, how can anyone know who you are, what you do, right? You could have been on your job for 16 years, but been so isolated, you know, doing your job for so long that they're like, you're almost like non-existent because you've been there for so long, right? So now you're trying to come out of your shell and be a new employee to this new mega world between AI, hybrid and remote. Like there's so many different changes that's happened over the last 5 years that may have like gone over your head that you're like, oh shoot, like now I gotta play catch up.
Absolutely. I think, and I'll tell you, like, I've been trying to even just change and remove the previous job on my LinkedIn. And I'm just like, it won't delete. So I'm like, obviously, I'm doing something wrong. So I
Okay.
just haven't even touched my LinkedIn outside of that. I haven't updated for any additional anything.
Okay, we can share screen and go through that in a little bit. Um, anyone else have any pain points that they are definitely struggling with right now that feels like end all be all with their job search?
I kind of feel like for me, it's just more so with my presence and just kind of getting more active on LinkedIn because I see people who are putting things, let's say my work anniversaries, things of that nature. I think I've got on mine, I was open for work just to always be available, but kind of wondering who sees that and what gets around, and just making sure that I'm marketable even within my company for the roles I've done. But just who might see that and who might try to maybe pull me back, that kind of makes sense where they're like, okay, what's he really trying to do?
Okay.
And
So I will say a lot of the LinkedIn-ness of it could the only obviously social media to compare to is Facebook, right? So a lot of the LinkedIn updates and open banners and posting all your accolades and certifications, right? In your about me section, there was a point in time, obviously, when that mattered and when that held weight and when you could use that to your best option, right? You could reach out to one recruiter, two recruiters, and hear back from them within less than a week time span, right? So even having your green banner doesn't always work in your favor. You can put your work anniversary 10 times over. People will pass right on over it, send their little automated congratulations and not care, right? And not because they're saying, oh, Mark, it doesn't matter that you've been at this company 5 years, 10 years, whatever, right? But it's more so like now you gotta think everybody is trying to show one up on anybody else. So it won't even matter, like even to Shayla's point, like she's been at her job 16 years, then she got a new job for the last 3 years. Those 16 years is done, dead and gone, right? So she could have put her anniversary on LinkedIn. They won't care, not in a rude way, but it's at this point, it don't even matter. It's kind of like what can she do now, right? So what we'll focus on tonight is things that will bring the right attention to your LinkedIn profile. And these are not hard set in stone options, right? These are things that have worked and can work, and maybe you have to retweak it again. So, but these are things that you do it, you try it out, and then you add more things to it. So we'll go over banners, we'll go over profile pictures, about me sections, and even posting, right? You can have a aesthetic pleasing page, but if you're not posting, you know, just to show a little bit engagement of posting what you're doing on your day to day, or bringing more people, like-minded people and employers to your page, then it's all for nothing. You know, it's not making you into a content creator, but just saying, like, you know, Mike, you can easily be like, Mark, oh, during my week, you know, or during quarter 2, I've been able to achieve these things at my company. Is anyone else out there doing these same things, right? So those are just little things that kind of keep you engaged within your profile without having to overthink it. Michael.
Hey, yeah. So you asked what uh, things we were looking for. I know, we've all gone through this 4 months of extensive training, and very talented group of folks here on this call, and I guess to me, I know for myself, and I think it would be likewise for everybody else, we want to, I guess, best present, this new skill set. So we all, we've got training, and our certifications are pending, but we want to best present our new skill set, and at the same time, you know, leverage or promote ourselves. I think it's what you were saying, with the skill sets that are valuable, that we currently have or have developed over, say, like the last 10 years,
Right.
find the best way to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys have your LinkedIn pages up already in front of you on another screen, your iPad, or even your phone, is still mobile friendly options to do, you know, right now. Is one, understanding your purpose of LinkedIn, right? Everybody really does have their own purpose when it comes to LinkedIn, and you have to make sure that your purpose will benefit you, right? Outside of job seeking, obviously you're on LinkedIn to look for jobs, to connect with recruiters, right? Connect with hiring managers. But what do you want your LinkedIn page to represent? If it's 8 o'clock at night and a recruiter is scrolling and happen to see your page, right? What do you want them to view on your page? So number one is obviously a banner and profile picture, okay? These are the two most important things. No gray banners, no hidden pictures or AI pictures, unless you are in GovTech. So I'm assuming everyone here is regular employees, not hiding from anything, and can post themselves, right? So with that, the number one thing that you can use is Canva. Canva has free options. So you don't even have, I obviously have Canva Pro, as you see, but there are free options for LinkedIn banners that you can use. The more that you put into your banner, like obviously not these ones, but maybe a Kelly Miller or this business strategy analyst position one, just one with a little bit more depth that shows that you are interested in presenting yourself on a high level. Guys, using that whole black and gray is great. Blue as well, the navy blue, the hard solid colors. For ladies, using anything whites and light grays. Try to stay away from pinks, hard pinks like that. Or just plain solid backgrounds. Something like this is still good as well. You can make, once you click on it, you can still make as many edits for the free version as possible. But changing your LinkedIn banner to one of these options will definitely kind of step your profile game up. Very simple, very minimalist, doesn't require much effort. I've used this banner personally on several of my clients' people who just don't have the time to obviously like do too much with LinkedIn, which you don't. Like I said, you can change this, you can change this, you can change this. You don't even have to put your email and your @ name. You can just leave the title and you can put a slogan, something simple, or you could just have the title and take everything else off, right? But just something. And once you complete it, you'll go to here to share and then simply download it. It'll save. You'll come back up here to the pencil option, and then you'll upload it that way. Very simple. Okay. So if you don't have a proper banner in some sort of fashion, try not to use the banners that come with LinkedIn. If you can, like I said, you can do it on your phone, your iPad, wherever. It just brings a little bit more life to your page. Okay. Next, obviously, is your profile picture. I took this picture in my bathroom on against a white wall. That's the best lighting in my house is the bathroom. So plain wall, whatever you have, use a plain back wall, use your back camera if you can, just align it, boom, take the picture. You don't have to worry about suit, don't have to worry about nice blouse, none of that. Like LinkedIn is so far removed from the original, like obviously professional aspect of it, that just having a decent, solid visual picture for you is suffice enough. Okay. Please, as long as you have good lighting, the picture will come out fine. I took this picture 2 years ago and people I can't even tell now. It's definitely about 2 years old. My hair is way longer, as you can see, way longer now. So as long as it shows some relevancy, you know, to what you look like, doesn't have to be super crazy professional, but like I said, good lighting makes a world of a difference. And try not to, please don't use those AI LinkedIn profile pictures that was going viral a couple of months ago. They will not do you any justice. Now that that's out the way, your banner and your profile picture, we're going to talk about headline. Now, does anybody here feel like they have a solid headline for me to search you up and use as an example? There's no right or wrong.
Question for you. Can you say too much?
Well, I believe there is a character limit.
I
Now,
mean, in terms of, I definitely understand we want to sell ourselves. I get it.
mhm.
But can we say too much? What's the right amount of, you
Okay.
know,
So
that-
I'll go into that of what it should consist of.
Mm.
But first, I want to at least see what you guys kind of have out there. So if you want to put your LinkedIn in the chat, I'll look you guys up and see if you guys have a headline. Or if you want me to just search you, just let me know.
You can search me. I'm trying to find you right now. It's not giving me luck,
Okay.
but you can search me. Mine is Mark S. Hayes. Mark and then
All right, let's see.
no, not me, but I think if you want to use, I think Jay reached out to in the chat.
Yeah. You said it was Mark S. Hayes?
With the dot.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Oh, there I am. The
Oh, here we
MH.
go. All right. Oh, we got a good one.
I do. Okay.
We got a good one to show. Well, basically the 3 that I was talking about. John, I'll get to yours in a minute. So this is a good opportunity here of a very obviously straightforward, right? State reporting product analyst at HTA. But if you're trying to display this on a higher level, especially if this is something that you're continuously going to be doing, one, as you see with mine, I have the slashes, right? So you want to put what it is you do, what area you're doing it in, so it's like the finance department or the data analytics department or cyber department, and your company. Usually your company will already show right here, but if you want to still put them in that headline, you can. But usually a what you're doing, like your title, and the department of where you're doing it at, and like your result of it. So if you want to put high level state reporting product analyst at HCA, boom. Or if you want to add emojis, I always like adding emojis to build a little bit of emphasis and characterism and funness to the headline. You can put that too. So back to Michael's point of what's too much, it really depends on your position and what you're trying to display. A lot of people, military people, they put, you know, all of their accolades in there, their current titles or past titles. People like to put, if they got into the Meta and Amazon and Netflix era and things like that, they like to put like X Amazon, X Google, X Meta. So just to show like they've achieved these high level tech positions. So I don't recommend obviously putting ex employees in there, but I will say putting what you do, department that you work in the company is enough with some emojis, a slogan, something that shows as much that you're wanting to emphasize on there.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let's say not only, okay, you got, and I'm sure I've got some kindred spirits on here, you know, you do a day job, but then you've got a side hustle or you do other work. How do you weave that and convey that message in the best possible way?
No. If it's not 9 to 5, you leave it out.
What?
You save that for Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or your own personal phone. If it's not, because you don't want, people already don't put that they work 2 jobs at the same time anyway. So if it's not a teacher during the day and a tutor at night type of thing, then
Let's say I do real estate, you know, as well. And I guess what I'm getting to is, you know, you're one person, but you leverage everything you're doing with your LinkedIn, right? Let's say I invest in real estate. I can say, you know, Coleman technology guy, but also he does real estate. No?
No, if you were doing tech sales, maybe. If you were showing that you were like a salesman and you've done real estate, you've done corporate, you've done fintech, things like that, you worked at the bank, maybe. But if they have nothing to do with each other and it's not a standard 9 to 5, or that's not the only job, like if you are a full-time realtor, yes, but not putting your 9 to 5 on top of being a real estate agent. You could still look for realtors and real estate gigs within your network and connect with them, but to display it, no. I strictly suggest only doing 9 to 5 work.
So you're saying your LinkedIn page, this is good. You're saying your LinkedIn page is for branding your 9 to 5 persona, who you are.
Branding who you are.
Just that 9 to 5. Nothing
Yeah.
beyond.
You don't need to put, because when a recruiter comes, if you're open to work, right? You're looking for a job today, right now, and a recruiter comes to your page and they're saying, oh, you know, Michael Real Estate LLC, you say sold 100 homes in 2024, and then you have barely any information about data analytics or procurement or cybersecurity. You show like you're still open to work with your green banner for open to work. And the recruiter's like, oh, well, are you still doing real estate? Because you have real estate on here, but it has nothing to do with the job that you're actually interested in, of your open to work banner. Once you get to that point where you're no longer using LinkedIn as a job searching tool, then you do whatever you want with your page. But if you are a 9-to-5 or looking for a continuous 9-to-5 position, you're trying to brand yourself as said employee, there is no other side hustles. You keep, like I said, you keep those side hustles for Instagram, Facebook, and the weekend. All right, Ms. Jamie. So this here is a good option as well. Like I said, with the slashes, when you separate and you mention, you know, tech supporting tools like software tools, accolades, your reason for why you do it. Like she has passion for solving complex problems, improving track record of success. She has DevOps programming mentioning here. So it has like some minor subjects of what it is she does overall. So this just, and you know, if she wanted to add some emojis, we could easily just take this, use this as a quick example here of the whole emoji thing and why I was projecting that, just to bring some life. This here, now this looks way better than what she had standard, right? She don't have to use everything that's listed here, but it just gives some options of what her page could look like. Just the simpleness of it, right?
Mine is so basic. I'm looking at
Yeah.
mine.
Well,
So
yeah, like I said, those 2 steps, and like I said, once you start adding the banner, the profile picture, the headline, your page will start coming together the way that you want it to. And then that way people, when they view your page, they're like, you know, especially if you're on LinkedIn every single day, but your page doesn't look like you're on LinkedIn every day, people are gonna skip it. And you don't want that. All right, Miss Rollins, another great example, solid headline, banner, professional picture, bright, vibrant, can see her face, has a headline as well. So these are just some examples. And I don't want the guys to think that like super girly, because it will not make your page super girly at all. Adding emojis, you can limit the emojis the way that you want. But like I said, it just brings a little bit of life and excitement to your page. Now we're gonna go to.
You say that regardless of the industry. I mean, we're tech. You know, tech is kind of, you know, ones and zeros. You know, you feel like emojis play well for tech resumes or tech profiles, or
Well, yeah. Well, LinkedIn is not.
who said that? Who said
Me,
Jay?
Jay, I work in tech.
I'm just going down this lane just to see what, you know. She already hurt my feelings about the side hustle.
Oh,
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
But like I said, even with the guys, most guys not really super hard on emojis, but it's just like I said, you use it how you see fit. There's other ways to develop excitement to your page. You know, like I said, you could put it in your about me section, your headline. You can even put it in your bullet points here, right? LinkedIn is so it's so like non-controversial now that you can be as free-spirited as you want to, but you just don't want your page to look empty. So if emojis isn't your thing, by all means, just be very standard, but still have some type of excitement and liveness to your page. So now we're going to go down to about me section. But before, do we have any other questions? Anything else that anybody else want me to review their page before we go to about me sections?
Is there a way to merge? Because I know I have 2 LinkedIn pages. So, and I used to go back and forth and update both of them, but then it just got too tedious. So like this one that I put in here, but I'm wanting to probably merge the two or condense it, or would you suggest deleting one or the other? Like this one is very basic because I've pretty much deleted it to this.
Okay, let me pull it up here. So which page, because so this is this like a incognito page? Like
No, this one was the one that I had with the longer job, right? So I think
Okay.
this one has the more connections also, and so it didn't get updated. And for a long time, obviously, because I was at the same job,
Yeah.
I had no need for it. And then I couldn't get into it, and then I created another one. So
Okay.
the
So
other
you
one
do still have access to this page, this
yes.
old one, or no?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, even with the connections, if they don't serve you any purpose, honestly, they're just people that you could still reconnect with on your new page. So it's not like you can, absolutely just dead this page if it has nothing on here that's hardcore, like you're gonna miss out on, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's pretty much up to you, the type of connections that are either on this page that you want to remember and kind of merge over to the other page, or if you want to just get rid of the page in general. I like the new page. I feel like it's less work for you to have to do. If it's just a connections thing, there's 500 more new people that have never seen you and never connected with you that would love to see your face. So, so like I said, if it's just connections that's going to help put you in that space, then rebranding yourself now is a perfect opportunity to do that.
Okay. Nope. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, excuse me.
Salud.
Thank you. All right. So I see. Oh, wait, hold on. Jacqueline. Okay. What was your question? Oh no, did I miss it? Oh, Shay was trying to put the link. Exit link. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna start on the about me section. Now, like I said, the about me section, people, I will be honest, there's 90% chance that people will not read it. Now, like I said, everyone is open to work. Everyone is trying to get a job. Recruiters barely gave us time of day when the job market was good, right? So now that everybody pretty much is trying to find some type of new position, new opportunity, about me sections are far and few between, okay? But I will say having at least 2 paragraphs like this with some type of context of who you are, what you do as relevant, like updated, like make sure that your about me section is updated. That's very important. So many people forget about their about me section that they'll have old information, college information, their first 2 jobs listed in there, So if you are going to be on LinkedIn, try to update this every 6 months. There's always something new that you can add, a course, a certification, a class, right? Putting in here something new that you learned, especially right now in the time of AI. As you guys see, there's so many AI videos. If you're a TikToker like me, I live on TikTok. There's so many like these with a VO3 videos where they're having like argumentative conversations, or the old ladies fussing out the girl in the market, or people are cutting glass fruit, right? Random stuff. So if anything, showing that you're up to date with like AI features, automations, technical skills, right? Anything that's trending in what you're learning and have learned from this course, make sure that it's listed in here somewhere, some way, right? Even if that's all you have to say, just to show your 2025 relevancy. Because if a recruiter reaches out to you, or if you see a job posting and someone wants to connect with you and say, oh, I saw that you're doing this, but you're like, oh, no, that's old. I forgot to update that. That's the last thing that you want, right? So take your About Me section very seriously and make sure that it's as up to date as possible. Should be no more than 6 months old within it. So like I said, think of whatever positive impacts, accolades, certs, classes, courses that you've taken and add that into your section. Top skills. I believe now top skills lets you add up to 50 or 100, if I'm not mistaken. But same thing with top skills. Try not to add every single skill that you know, but every skill that's relevant. So any updated software tools is very important. You know, if you're in HR or fintech, data, data analytics, cybersecurity, there's always some new updated skill sets that you want to include. And if they are in-house, which means like your company is only using that as like a home-based resource, where only your company is using it, add it in there as well. Because not every software tool is going to roll over to another company, obviously, you know. So whatever software everyday tools that you're using outside of the typical Excel, Monday.com, things like that, Jira, make sure they are listed. Now we're going to take a pivot from LinkedIn really quick, and we're going to talk about resumes. Because LinkedIn, as important as it very much is not as time consuming, because you can do your LinkedIn in a day, right? What people mainly struggle with is getting their resume, like the young lady mentioned earlier, getting their resume seen. Resumes are very controversial. People have 1, 5, 2 pages, whatever, right? I'm going to show you mine. Mine is not the typical resume because I only have 1 page. I'm a contractor. I've done a lot of contracting work, but I still have 11 years of experience on 1 page. So can everybody see my screen? Okay. Now, when it comes to resumes, and anyone, like I mentioned before, because I work with mid to senior level and up people, right? There's only so much that you need to say. When you get to a certain point in your career, unless you are doing a hardcore pivot, meaning you went from being a teacher to a nurse, right? When you're doing something almost completely opposite, or you want to, like Michael said about tech and real estate, right? Unless you did a completely different pivot, you don't need to put every single last position that you've done or little thing that you've done, right? Your main thing is that you'll see when you take a look at my resume, right? 1, I do not have education listed. 2, I don't have certifications listed. My skill sets are listed within my bullet points along with my metrics and my job titles, right? So, and I've only stuck in one industry, which is logistics, now procurement, right? So me personally, show growth from customer service within logistics to a procurement analyst within logistics. Some people, like I believe it was Shayla, right, with 16 years of experience. Now she has a new job with 3 years experience. She doesn't need to show 16 full years because that's a page and a half on its own, right? So with her 16 years, she can just have 2 bullet points because she's not there anymore. It's not really going to hold much weight. It's going to show like, okay, she knows how to stay at a job for a long time, but what good is that 16 years of experience if it's not going to show relevancy for 2025, right? So she can have about 2 to 3 bullet points for the 16 years of experience. And then for her new job, that's where she's going to show impact. Because she already got the job. So now she wants to show impact going forward for 2025.
So with that, let me ask you a question. So with that, what I focus on the most recent role. So every kind of like you said in your one pager, right? It showed your progression, the matriculation through logistics within those 11 years. So that's kind of how it went from, we can say, agent to analyst to tech to leadership to operations and management. So everything is all transitioning. And then the new role went from operations management to international management because I went out of the country with this job and trained abroad. So are we just bullet pointing sticking in operations and people management and leadership, or would we cover everything under the umbrella? Because in that, I did HR and recruiting and all kind of things. So it's all over the place,
No,
right?
and exactly. So you just answered your own question. You don't want to fall off the trail, right? Because that's why a lot of people's resume gets so chaotic because they're like, they see a job title. Oh, I did that. But then the job description can say something completely different or mention different avenues or things that they need to do, right? So if you are trying to prove your leadership experience, then yes, that's what you add. You show your metrics driven towards being a leader, being impactful, being a team lead or a supervisor, right? If you're trying to show longevity, you just show your different titles that you've had, of course, across that company. But depending on the job title and the job description that you're trying to do, if you're just trying to go from one operations leader to the next, then you already know what you need to prove.
Right.
And that's why it's very important to have that self-branding. Everything really ties into itself when it comes to job searching. It's all one big circle, but so many people have so many little avenues and like, oh, I did this project or I went on this job work trip and I've done this. And as much as we want to showcase ourselves, only so much is even relevant to the job description. Half the time we still want to get trained anyway. Right? So you push all this hard work into this one little page or 2 pages trying to be like this perfect employee and then be like, oh, okay, cool. And you be like, well, damn, I didn't even need to put all that on there. So
I got so many different resume versions pertaining to jobs because I've like tailored them to the specific jobs just for what you said, not to have so much.
Exactly. So you, in order to keep it very straightforward, when you are job searching, it goes for everybody. When you are job searching, stick to one specific industry, whether it's data analytics, SAP, Oracle, procurement, logistics, whatever, right? Stick to your job industry. The job titles will change. So every company is going to have the same overall scope of what the work is, but the titles will have something different. There's so many procurement analyst jobs out there, but not everyone will I qualify for, right? Because when I read the job description, if they're not talking about SAP, they're not talking about Workday, they're not talking about invoicing and accounts receivable and things like that that I've done and that I'll continue want to do, that doesn't serve me any justice, right? I'm gonna be chaotic. But what I can do is I can find relatable companies, right? Like I don't have my Lockheed position on here, right? But now that I've pivoted into the GovTech side, now I can apply for roles like SIAC, Northern Grumman, Deloitte, because now I'm in that big old umbrella that you mentioned, Shayla, right? Where I'm trying to prove this point of I can do almost anything. Just give me the job, I can do it. But I got to show my progression towards it. So when it comes to resumes, you want to keep it very simple, right? Nowadays, there's so many versions and AI and make turn one resume into 15 different resumes. Then when you start applying, now you don't even know which one worked. So keep it very simple. Make sure your resume matches your LinkedIn. That's number one. Because if you go on LinkedIn and you're job searching, you ping somebody, and they're like, oh, hey, Shayla, hey, Michael, hey, Paul. And they're like, oh, yeah, I like your experience. And I see that you did this, but your resume is saying something else. And they're like, you're like, oh, shoot, like, now I got to change my resume. Wait, no. Sorry, I forgot to add this, or I forgot to take this off, or I'm not doing that anymore, or let me add this on my resume. Now you're so chaotic. So whatever changes that you make to your resume, just make them, bring them to LinkedIn, and start your job search. Keep it very simple. You don't want to waste too much time on it. Job searching alone is a headache of itself, right? You don't want to have 6 different versions of your resume, all these different folders on your computer saved. Like what? Like, oh yeah, I think this was the last one that I used. And then when the person does ask for your resume, like, oh, you want to present it. Now you don't even know which one to use. You're like, oh shit, I sent the wrong one. Or I should have sent this one. Or like, can I make these changes? Like, no. Don't overthink it. Keep it very plain Jane, very simple, straight to the point. Now, if there's certain aspects on there that you want to highlight, make sure that whatever you're adding to your resume is going to serve you justice, right? So technical skills, software skills, anything that's going to show like, saying Workday, Monday.com, Jira, right? Pivot tables, Excel, hardcore skills that nobody can take from you. Yes, you keep that on there. But if you managed a team of 10 people back in 2014, get that off of there. They don't care. Okay. Anybody and everybody put that on their resume. They don't care. They care about this, right? This is what I apply for jobs on a weekly basis just to show my students that relevancy matters, right? And I do self-learning for myself just to keep updated because I'm always doing everything for everybody else. So I sometimes in between gigs, I get sidetracked like, oh shoot, like maybe let me take this AI course or let me understand what some automations should do, right? So when I present my resume to someone, if I'm deciding like I want to do some more C2C work or go back full time, now I can show like, oh, she's not only not that she's just been off the job for the last 3 months doing nothing, but she actually shows some updated projects. And you can put that as a project section if you want to, or a skill section. So when it comes to your resume, like I said, if it's not going to serve you justice, if it's not going, it could be on your resume or off your resume. If it off your resume and you can still get hired, let it go. Okay.
So you may have already mentioned this. The roles you have on your resume, are some of these contract and some are full-time, or do we need to be focused on sharing that? Does that matter?
I personally, because I am a contract employee, I do C2C work. So I can put 1099, but I only job search usually directly through recruiters. So they already know that. But if you want to like pivot into contract work, you can put 1099 or put, like you see here, Google was a contract position. But you can put it on there. You can not put it on there. People, they ask, it's a contract position. Okay, cool. That's it. It doesn't really hold any weight. You know, I could take contract off and still send the same resume. But unless it's like an actual like full on 1099, you got hired as this 1099 employee from this third party company and you want to put that third party company name instead of the actual company that you're working for, then you can put contract or vice versa.
Okay.
And like I said, these nuggets that I'm giving you guys are things that have worked over courses of time, right? So if your resume isn't metric driven and you see how I have like my percentages listed and how I'm storytelling and I'm not just listing the bullets, and you want to change yours like that, do it. See how it works. See what kind of results you get with it. Or if you feel like your resume really isn't broken and it's been working for you, absolutely take what I said, pass it to a friend. Everybody's resume experiences are different. But I will say right now in the era that we are in where everything is literally tech savvy and the less and less human versions are getting accepted, from people to people, you want to stay relevant in whatever area and career that you are in. Does anyone want to screen share their resume? Sorry, that was not loud. Don't be shy. We all in this together now.
Look,
Paul, you get real quiet.
I'm like what you.
I'm like what you said about 15 different versions. I wouldn't mind screen sharing, but dang, I would have to figure out which one is the most decent. So
Exactly.
let me go through my files and see.
Yeah, so what I will say, you right now have, you are that person, you have 15 different versions of said resume. Start over.
Yeah,
Start over right now. Okay. Just
yeah.
cut the cord, start over. I will screenshot, I will send a copy of mine's is. If you want to mirror that and make it very simple, plain Jane, absolutely. Because you gotta think, whatever version, that could have been from January, that could have been from March of last year, that could have been from yesterday. And you're like, oh shoot, like I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Like,
Right.
what if you really don't know what your industry calling is going to be, especially while you guys are still taking this course right now, clean up what you can, right? And if that really does mean starting over, okay, start over, start fresh, so you have a clean slate, a clean mind to understand, okay, this is the point that I'm trying to prove. If you look at your resume right now and it doesn't show metrics, add metrics. If it doesn't show your recent education within like the last, I don't even like to go past 5 years. So if you haven't graduated, if you graduated from 2020 till now, add it. If you had a certification within the last 2 to 3 years, if it holds weight, a certification, not a certificate, certification, then you add it. Certificates like Coursera, Udemy, even LinkedIn Learning, right? Those could stay on LinkedIn, right? Anything that does not hold heavy weight, like a PMP certification, Scrum Master certification, data analytics certification, like an actual certification, then you leave it, right? You want to make sure that your resume is very plain Jane, straight to the point.
I would
Okay.
definitely be starting over.
But I have to update mine. Mine hasn't been updated in a while, and I think that's probably my problem. Is what I do now is not displayed well on my resume because my position changed, and I haven't updated anything since my position changed because it
Okay,
takes
that makes sense.
too much of my life.
it gets like that. So, like I said, starting over on your resume is not the worst thing in the world. Nobody, first of all, nobody would know. And second of all, you will feel better. I promise you, you're going to feel 10 times better about your job search, about yourself, about your accolades. When you start reviewing, like, damn, I really did that for real. Like, it's organized, it's a clean slate, it's easier to work with. And then you start connecting with those proper people. You're not just connecting and hoping for the best.
Oh, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you said don't put the certificates on there. I completed one for it's like project management for healthcare projects. And I completed that with the Project Management Institute, PMI. Are you familiar with PMI?
Yes.
Okay, so I completed it through the Project Management Institute, and I'm working on a PMP cert now. So I shared the certificate on LinkedIn, but you're saying just don't put it out there.
You can put it on LinkedIn, but you don't need it on your resume if that's not the avenue that you're going.
Okay.
So
I
you
wanted
don't
to
want
do
to.
something. Okay. I wanted to do something leaning towards healthcare, like informatics or something of that nature. And with this data analytics cert that we're getting, so would it help at all, or not until I got the PMP?
Not until you get your full certification.
Okay.
So yes, you can still absolutely connect with those people that are in that wave, like that's in the PMP, or people who got their PMP already, right? Connect with those people. But you putting that on your resume right now isn't going to make or break you getting that job.
Yeah.
It'll show like you have understanding of it for sure, but it's not going to be like, oh, I didn't get the job because I didn't have this on my resume.
Okay.
So I just put in the resume for you guys. I put it in the Word version, so you should be able to edit it. So save it out to your personal computer and then edit as needed for it. And that should be like a good solid like starting point for you guys. So Jamie has her resume here. Let's take a look at it. Let me put my screen share back on. All right, let me try to make it smaller. There we go. All right. Microsoft Office can go because everybody knows how to do Microsoft Office. We want to save these skill sets for any hard skills that nobody can take away from you, like the actual hardcore skills, right? So we can drop those. And even the ones that you have here, like technical trainer, troubleshoot, drop those. You can put like Visual Studio Code and only list these as I'm seeing them, like the Jira, Meditech, Cerna. If you can't really talk about them at like an 8 out of 10, drop them. Because you really don't want to get yourself, not saying that you don't know these, but I see a lot of people list a whole bunch of like skill sets that just come with that industry, and they're not able to really speak to them. Because what you can do in a good way is take some of these skill sets, right, and use them for your job searching purpose. So if you're not able, let's say you're looking for a data analytics position and like, damn, everybody got a data analytics job, but me, I'm not able to find one. There's no entry. There's no under 3 years experience required, blah, blah, right? If you have these skill sets listed, start using this as your job search. It may, like I told you, the job title is going to be different. So it may not say data analytics, but they'll have using Jira or using technical writing or using Zendesk. So if you can give it like an 8 out of 10 to speak to it, to show how you're able to use this on a regular basis, then take it off, because this can actually help you in your job search journey. Make sense?
Yep, makes good sense.
So when you start understanding skill sets, hardcore skill sets, like for my procurement students, I scream SAP, Oracle, and Excel all day long to them. Because why? You know, if you think it's about somebody who knows Excel like the back of their hand from high school or college, or just learning in their free time, when you think about how far Excel has came and where you can use Excel, they can have any job that they want, right? Because they mastered one skill set. Excel can take you anywhere. There's so many people who don't even know Excel, and that's why like the people who are so good at it can just job hop around because they mastered one thing and they can go anywhere. Same with regular skill sets, but people don't think about it. They just think about the company and they think about education or experience. So if you're in that space where you're like, I'm burnt out, I'm running out of options, start searching by your skill set. And you can also start searching by your companies, like they call them parent companies. So every company has a competitor, a parent company, a sister company to them, right? Like I mentioned Lockheed, right? But Lockheed parent companies are either Base System, Deloitte, Northrop Grumman, SIAC, right? Because it's all within that GovTech space. So once you find that company that you work at, start looking at either their competitors or their parent company so you can make your transition. Little hidden gems like this can help your job search journey for the better. And that'll make your resume writing so much easier. Because now you know, like I said, keeping my plain Jane resume showing working from trucking companies to working in GovTech has now allowed me to be able to have interviews at the art museum, or have interviews for Roblox, or have interviews for Base Systems or Boeing, right? Because now I put myself in that position where I just needed my foot in. So now if your foot is in, now you can pivot to other companies. Let's see, whose resume is this? All right. So, yes. See how this skill set is very minimal? Exactly what I was talking about. Very minimal. Now, I will say is that this part here doesn't need to even be here. You should put this in bullet points. All this here, this is your day-to-day. So you want to show your skill set here, this Agile, Scrum Master, product, and lifecycle management, how you're doing that on your everyday basis, right? And not just that you're doing it, but the results of you doing it. All bullet points should have a storytelling method. What it is you're doing, the result of it, and how you're doing it. So if you work in a call center and you're supposed to take 150 calls a day on outbound, you don't say call center rep responsible for taking 150 outbound calls. You say customer service agent exceeding 150 call rate ratio by 10%, resulting in 10%, 20% call customer retention, right? That makes a world of a difference than just saying I'm taking 150 outbound calls. That sounds like hell, right? So if you already going through misery, right, you better show that impact of trying to get out of that misery when it comes to your bullet points. And this education, your master's degree, honestly, I would bring, because your master's degree is within the last 2 years, I would bring it to the top. Anybody who has education recent, I like to show that first. I like to show education first, then skill set, then professional work, or certifications first, then skill set, then work. Whatever is recent, as like most recent as possible, you know? So yeah. But what questions do you guys have? Is this making sense for you guys now?
It's very helpful.
Good. And like I said, once you start with a foundation, whether it's going to be your LinkedIn as your starting place or your resume as your starting place, once you get one of those together, everything else is going to fall into place. Because you'll have a clean slate, you'll have an organized agenda, right? And that's going to help you, because having 15 resumes is crazy. I've been there. It's crazy. It makes, when you think about it, when that whole, I don't even know where that rumor came from. When I was hearing people saying, yeah, you change your resume for each job that you apply to. And I'm like, what? Like, it sounds good when you don't think about, like, now, this job market now, when you're applying for 30, 40, 50, 111 jobs in a week, and you still ain't hearing nothing back. So it's like, what? On top of cover letter. See, yes,
Right.
2 cover letter.
Time consuming.
Exactly. On top of the applications, right?
Right.
We didn't even get to the actual application yet. We just talking about the job description and the resume, and if my resume makes sense to this job description, and if they gonna give me a call back and blah, 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 right? We didn't even do nothing with the application yet. So don't give yourself a headache, driving yourself crazy.
I know,
Be minimalist.
I know from my personal experience, I think way I got started doing multiple resumes is you get connected to recruiters, and they are driven by, I think, making sure their candidates have all the keywords in their resumes. And what I've seen is, okay, Michael, we need you to put this in there. We need you to put that in there. You know, you may have like the core skill set, but it's those
Mhm.
2 or 3 things that are one off that they want you to add to your resume. And I think I found myself having multiple resumes because of that, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Recruiters are lazy as hell. And they want to, one, you gotta think recruiters are all in competition with each other.
Yeah.
So as soon as they find you, they want to make you do the work that they supposed to be doing, because at the end of the day, they got to present that resume to their hiring manager. So they're
Mhm.
going to tell you, oh yeah, make these changes, make these changes. I'm gonna do you this one. I'm gonna send this resume off for you. We ain't hear from them. Now you got stuck with the resume.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. Arisa says some feedback to share from her experience is to be mindful what you decide to title your resume when you're saving it. I see so many resumes from candidates that don't have a professional title for their resume. For example, save as first, last name, the current year, and include the job title you're looking for. Yes. If you are in a situation for whatever reason that you need multiple resumes, honestly, don't do more than 2 to 3, really. Because at that point, it's a burnout. At this point, you're gonna take what I got and you're gonna work with it and read between the lines. Because I've done the whole white line method, like the white font method, where taking a job description, revamping it, putting it on the resume, and making it white so that they had the perfect keywords. Didn't work. Is exactly. People have had these crazy methods. So honestly, truly, have no more than 2, even 3 is a force, really. Because what are you changing it to? Honestly, you're changing it for a job description of a job that you may or may not even hear back from. If it's really meant to be, truly, honestly, there shouldn't be much that you should change. And if you are going to make the changes, put it in Word or make those notes. Like Michael said, if there's a few keywords that you had to add, like KPIs or whatever, because there are recruiters that look for certain words or need that certain verbiage for the hiring manager, but you do it, you send it to them, but you keep that Word version and then you undo it and you go back to your original format. So that way you don't get lost in the sauce of what did I need to change? Where do I need to make the changes? Because then you find another job and you're just gonna be in this hamster wheel. So you can have like a dummy resume that you want to make a million edits to and just hope for the best with that one, or you have 1 to 2 that's going to correlate. One, you should always have a PDF version that you just send off. A hard copy, just let them know I ain't doing that. Hard copy PDF version, you take what's on there. Then you, of course, you have your Word version to update phone number, update contact info, add companies, whatever. And then you can have, your dummy resume for those one-off scenarios. So that way you're not so chaotic. If you need to have, some people have an Indeed resume, a LinkedIn resume, a Dice resume, whatever, because different job postings or job boards work for different reasons. But I save those on those platforms. So my Indeed resume stays on there. I don't constantly upload an Indeed resume every time I apply for a job. That same one is on there. Same with LinkedIn, because they save it for you anyway. So whatever LinkedIn or Indeed job that you see, when you make those changes to that resume, just upload it to there and keep it there. So that way you don't get confused and lost and trying to figure out what resume to use. Any other last minute questions? Any other LinkedIn's? concerns?
I have
This is
one.
Shanika.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yes, I
No,
just
go ahead.
wanted you, if you could, because I recently just updated my resume a few weeks ago, and if you could just take a look at it to see if I'm overdoing it, because I feel like a lot of my problem is I'm not applying for jobs because I feel like I have to edit this resume so much, and then I feel like it's a negative that I've been in my job for so long. I just can't make a move. I haven't made a move because I'm in my head.
Okay. Did you upload it in the chat? Or are you going to upload it in the chat for me?
Oh yes, it's already in there, the PDF. It says
Oh, okay.
CGS3 only because
Here
I
we
was
go.
I was at work and I edited under that title just so I can send it out.
Oh,
I didn't want them
yeah,
to know
we
what I
did
was
that
working
for it.
on.
Yeah, that's the one I was just looking at with yours. Hold on, let me. When I was saying that your skills, this professional analytics part, to put that in your bullet points. This one,
Okay,
right?
okay. Yes, it was somebody. Yes, that was mine. It was somebody else's up there when you were talking. I didn't know if it was mine that you were looking at or not. Okay, and those
Oh,
pages that
yes,
I have,
yes.
like, okay.
Sorry. Yes, when I highlighted this, that was saying this is what you need to add into your bullet points to show like how you're using it on an everyday basis. But I did like that your skill set here, your technical skills was very straightforward as well. So the only thing is to include your software skills. You have the metrics, you have the storytelling part, but just include a couple of those software tools to show how you're using them.
Okay, and another thing, like how I have those headed, those points bold and bulleted. I'm sorry, those points in bold before my descriptions. Is that just odd to begin like that, or is it because I felt like just I don't know where I got like with if I'm looking, I think it tells exactly how I did that task or how I'm doing that task. That's how I
Yeah, that's
took
how it
it.
looks. That's
And
how I
I
have
don't
mine.
see anybody's resume doing that with that bold. And sometimes I think people get confused, like, why the heck she do that?
No, look, you see mine right here. Can you see my screen?
Oh, we see it, but it still shows mine right
Oh,
now.
wait, let me switch it. Mine's the same way.
Mm. All right, thank you.
Yeah, so it's definitely the same idea, and you want to like you said, highlight that impact right away. So that's definitely nothing wrong with that at all.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was driving early and I'm just now
It's
making it
okay.
in. So now I'm seeing your resume in detail. So sorry about that repeat.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm glad you could actually see it now.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, and I think Mark had put their resume.
Yeah, you don't have to look at mine if you don't want to. Um,
Why you don't want me to open yours? Let me see.
oh, you
Now
can.
let's see. Let's see
I
what
figure
Mark.
since you're here,
Let's see.
figure I make worth your time.
Ooh, one pager. Well, I will say Mark's resume, guys, is very, very plain Jane. But I think it's just because of how the margins are. So it kind of just gives real white, like real like white spacing. But let's see what the words are showing for you. So remember I mentioned about the education piece. If it's not within the last 5 years, put it at the bottom.
Okay.
So bullet points. These are the bullet points where you are explaining what you do, not impact of what you do. So you want to showcase, like I mentioned with the call center. Yes, you want to show how you're being impactful on your day to day. Okay. Like what you have is great, but we want to see how you're doing it, what you're doing. Like, are you doing these same things from 2018 till now? What have you accomplish? What goals are you achieving, or the expectations going above and beyond, right?
Mhm.
All the way through, especially because it is one page. You want to, is kind of is same as mine, like the whole one page method, but you want to there's a difference now you see of the impact with the metrics, with the software tools, showing that storytelling method. Because someone reading this, right, let's say you make 80K now, right, but you want to make 110, 120. This is not going to do that pivot of 120K, that hardcore
Mhm.
pivot. This is going to give, he knows what he's doing. Now, oh my gosh, Mark is like the person that we are looking for. Like, that's what everybody should be chasing after. When you make certain edits to your resume, it upgrades your salary. Okay? Tremendously. So when you showcase your bullet points in a certain tone, in a certain manner, you are upgrading your salary window, right? So showing impact, showing metrics, showing high level skill set, showing like, I've been in this game a long time and I know what I'm doing and I'm the guy to do it. That's what you want to show, impact. You don't have to have 2-3 pages show that. Very minimalist, right? Very high level. There are certain people in the industry that you can say their name and their credentials run long. That's where you want on the job side. You don't want to sell yourself short. You've been at this HCA for a long time. Clearly you like it, or there's something about it that's still sticking with you, right? You still rocking with them. So let's show it. Let's show some impact. Like, okay, because if you was to leave tomorrow, what do you want the people to know? Like, if a recruiter read this, what impact do you want them to know that you do?
Gotcha. Look, you're good. I'll give you that. So,
But it's more, I appreciate it. It's just really understanding, like, just how you're saying it, right? Nobody's resume is ever terrible. I've never told anyone that their resumes are terrible. It's just missing that oomph. It's just missing that switch of verbiage. And when you start knowing what recruiters are looking for, what jobs are looking for, then you know what to change. But honestly, truly, you don't know what you don't know. So it's a
Mhm.
good thing to see other people's work, see where their resumes have gotten them. That's why I said, if your resume truly is not broken, or you're not looking for a job tomorrow, keep it how it is. Maybe just work on the LinkedIn for now, right? Start building up some people in your connections to send a resume to, because people work backwards, right? They make all these changes to the resume. They ain't got nobody to send it to. Your network is complete trash. You be like, damn, everybody in my LinkedIn is all looking for a job. I'm looking for a job. She looking for a job. He looking for a job. I ain't got nobody to show my resume to. So
Mhm.
when you build your foundation, your resume, your LinkedIn, your portfolio, now you can say like, oh, and people could start recommending you. Now I get recommended for things that I don't even have to prove any point about, because now I put myself in that position.
I appreciate it because mine is safe right now. But like you said, if I were to go elsewhere,
Exactly. Exactly. And you want to prevent yourself with people who, hopefully, obviously nobody will ever have to go through a layoff season, like unexpectedly, whatever, right? If you were to be let go, knock on wood, right? You were to be let go from your company right now, what is your resume going to do for you that can help you tomorrow? That's how deep you really want to go when it comes to your job searching, and your LinkedIn too, right?
Mhm.
2 years ago, I didn't even know who Josh was. Now he's presented opportunities for me. He still rock my I Belong in Tech hoodies. I still wear his hoodie and read his book. So thinking it on a deeper level of, when you start having your network build your net worth, and understanding who you can be an impact to for HCA. If somebody wants to get a job there, do you have pull? Do you got connections? Or are you just a long-term employee that just happened to be there, right? So
Mhm.
any place in your career where you're trying to pivot, and what you're using Pivot Tech School now to get there, start building those proper connections, building out your resume, building out a game plan for yourself so that you can actually get there. Actually, what I'm gonna give you guys too, I
Thank you.
actually made a video today talking about 30-day game plans. Let me see if I can actually, where it is, because I think this will help a lot of people. I made a post about it earlier. If I can't find the actual hard copy, it is on LinkedIn. I was making a lot of content today, so I gotta find it in my folders. But when it comes to job searching and job searching strategies, without any type of foundation, you don't want to lose yourself in what it is you're trying to do. So there's always a strategy of like, start with connections, start with your actual branding of your page, start finding those proper jobs, right? Understanding what it is you want to do. So I'm going to put this in the chat for you guys so you can actually see it. But this just gives you a breakdown of what that roadmap can look like for you. And I think a lot of people will be able to benefit from it. Paul, you've been real quiet tonight.
Yeah, I'm normally quiet. Just had a baby. Yeah, so lack of
Oh,
sleep. Oh,
congratulations.
thanks.
But building a roadmap will help make your career journey make sense. I promise you. Because without any strategy with anything in life, you're going to be chaotic as hell. So be sure to get that screenshot on LinkedIn, download it, read it, use my resume as a stepping stone for you for sure. And if you guys are on TikTok or you're on Instagram, connect with me, follow me on there. I post content every single day. So I'm always, and I try to make light of it too. I really post like humor content around like in the job market and what you should do. And I make a little bit of long form content on YouTube as well. So I'll put my Instagram and my TikTok in the chat for you guys to follow me there. But I'm glad I got to meet with you guys. I definitely see high level potential with you guys for sure. And like I tell everybody, you're not behind in your career. You just need structure. You just need a little bit of guidance, little roadmap to say, oh, okay, I can see where you're trying to go. Fix this. This will definitely help you. So as we wrap up, was there anything else that I could help you? Mike, I hope we're not beefing so you don't have to worry about your side hustles. I hope you with your Instagram.
Question. How do you get yourself set up for like projects or contracting yourself out, like projects that are that you may become, maybe privy to, or somebody may tell you about a project, or you may know of something that may be coming up that we can utilize our skills on as far as that go? How do you market yourself for them?
I would make a GitHub profile. GitHub is really good for project holdings, because you can display your work on a portfolio basis. So anything that obviously doesn't fit on your resume or like that you're trying to like physically display, like decks, slides, things like that, make a GitHub profile. And then you can find project managers on LinkedIn. As far as like actual contracting work, I would say Dice is really good. That's what I use for a lot of my contract gigs. and just constantly just really using LinkedIn too, and putting in, you know, C2C on there for that purpose.
So what was the first one again? You said Dice, and what was the other one?
Dice and to make a GitHub profile.
Okay.
So you want to make your profile on GitHub.
GitHub?
Yeah,
GIT. Yeah.
GIT, gotcha. Okay.
Yes, GitHub.
Gotcha.
That'll definitely help you. And on LinkedIn, there's a lot of, if you're not already connected, and Facebook too, tech groups. So like there's PMP groups on Facebook and LinkedIn that I was a part of a couple years ago when I was kind of like doing project management a little bit before I fully transitioned. So they can definitely help you out. Awesome. Well, I'm glad I got to meet you guys. If you guys could do me a favor and leave a review on my LinkedIn page, that will be greatly appreciated. If you guys feel like you need more time and want to do a part 2 session, let Josh know, let me know, and I will definitely make time for you guys to go into, you know, even finding jobs. Because this is, like I said, this is just a small piece of what it takes to kind of put yourself out there on a regular basis.
You said you had your LinkedIn profile out here? Oh, here it is. Yeah.
Yep, I have my LinkedIn listed. That was I can repaste it if you need to. It's early, just kind of scroll up. And my Instagram and TikTok is listed there in the chat as well.
Gotcha.
All right. I think we'll probably do another session on like the job search piece,
Yes.
like finding opportunities,
Mhm.
Indeed and LinkedIn, and finding out where are the Oracle
Actual
ERP
positions, yeah.
Fusion Data Intelligence opportunities.
Yes. So be sure
Hey,
to work on your resumes. If you are struggling for any reason, reach out to Josh or reach out to me and we'll see if I can help you guys rebrand your resume. I'll do it for you guys. Okay.
That's
Because I
yes,
what's
know
y'all
a lot
don't
of
understand. Y'all don't understand these sessions. Resume Bay is not cheap. All right, yeah. So make sure that y'all take advantage of all what she's saying. Make sure you take advantage. You know what I'm saying? She runs a legit organization, company.
Yes.
So
So
that's all I'm
just
saying.
let me know. And because like I said, once you have that foundation, your resume is definitely going to speak for itself. But if you really don't know, like Mark, I could definitely see you needing a full revamp because what you have is just like obviously not enough. It'll take more time trying to squeeze in those little metrics than just starting fresh and just building out, you know, your relevancy.
I
So
appreciate it. Yeah, I
Did
appreciate
y'all
the
ask
honesty.
this question? I don't know if they asked this question. Well, how you feel about putting your resume in chat and letting chat do all the
if
things?
you don't know how to use ChatGPT properly, you're going to get the same resume as everybody else.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
people gotta learn how to prompt. Like
yes, exactly.
prompting
Y'all
is
probably be
key.
snitching on yourselves.
Yeah. Uh,
But like I said, there's so many different resources to use. But if you don't know how to use them, your resume is just gonna be cookie cutter like everybody else and still not really getting you ahead. And you can have a trash resume, but have a good network. So it's all in what you feel you need in order to elevate your career. So let Josh know. We'll work something out and we'll definitely do a part 2 for the job searching piece.
yeah. So y'all make sure that you all continue to take your exams, the ones that have not passed the exams, the ones that have passed the exams, go ahead and get your resume and start shooting your shot. Also, I think LifePoint is in the middle of like a go live or something. I ain't been able to get in contact with nobody. But here's what I want you to do. The jobs that you all are going to be interviewing for, they're listed on online. So if you really want to work for LifePoint, apply for those and let me know when you do. And I'll talk to the big boss to get a response. So again, pass your test, get your cert. Also, get other certs. If you already passed your one cert, go get all the certs you can get. All right, load up. Load the boats, load up. But let's get through this first one. Lisa shared the key and the answers for the test. It's pretty much, she's taking it twice, I think. And so make sure that y'all utilize those resources. Kalanda put some resources in there as well. Make sure you utilize the resources. But based upon what I'm seeing, I think Lisa has the most accurate one that's to the test. So study that, and I think you'll be okay. Jay, have you taken it again? Did you pass it? Are you scared?
I'm
Don't be scared,
scared.
Jay. You waiting too long. Huh?
No, so I had to uh, I'm weird. So if I feel like I'm anxious about something, I kind of have to relax myself. So I've
Okay.
been literally telling myself, I'm not going to think about this. I'm not going to overwork myself, and then let me go back into it calmly. So then I can be like, okay, because I already know this is my last one. So I'm like,
Yeah, that's a
I've
good
been studying.
approach.
I've been looking at that stuff that Lisa sent over the weekend, and these questions are good. Like I remember some of them from the test specifically. So I'm like, okay, yeah. And there's a lot of them. There's like 100 some odd. How long is this thing?
Yeah, so scramble them up, do what you need to do. All right, so everybody,
$163.
I'll see you on next Monday, I think. I don't know. I'll let you know via email that morning, but I'll let y'all know if we're meeting up next Monday. But again, take your test, continue to study, take your test. All right. Thank you,
Good
Erica.
luck, guys. And
We'll
don't
talk.
forget those reviews. We need them.
Make sure y'all do the reviews, please.
Yes. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys soon.
Thanks again. Bye.
All right,
All right,
bye.
bye, guys.